Hello guys, welcome on my channel 4Wheels by David. Today I'm gonna show you how to replace timing belt with water pump on Audi A4 2013 a 2-liter diesel. If you guys are interested, let's have a look for my video. The same engine will be on Seat, Skoda, Volkswagen and Audi. Are you interested? Let's have a look. So just before we start, I would like to tell you few important things. If you guys have idea how to do it, you can do it. But if you guys don't have idea how to do it, better leave this job for mechanic, because otherwise you can look like that. Yes, exactly. You can looking for ticket for bus. Just I would like to tell you about the tools which are requirement for a timing belt are as spanners, sockets, impact wrench will be handy, also the bits type spline and Allen keys, lockers which we need to use for timing belts are 6 mm diameter for cam and pump, and this is for crankshaft, crankshaft. So this tools are a requirement, yeah, these lockers for the timing belt. If you guys not use lockers for this engine, you can damage your engine, you can do it wrong. I know that are guys who tell, oh, you can just do it with marks, you don't need lockers, but it's not like that. You can damage your engine. This is timing belt kit with water pump. The brand is Gates. Inclusive the kit is timing belt, bolts, nuts, which are requirement to use, and pulleys, tensioners, water pump. You can see in here is water pump and pulleys, tensioner. Yeah, everything is inclusive the kit. So the first what we need to do is take this bolt off, the plastic clips in here, in here, in here and here, to take off this plastic, and this screw also too. This need be taken off first. So I took the plastic cover off. Now second step, we have to take off these two screws to remove the inlet and these two bolts which are missing in here. So we need to remove these two bolts and take the two front wheels off. The next step is remove these plastic arches. We have to remove the screws around in here and in here to pull it up so we can get the bolts for bumper, and we need to remove the front and back under trays under the engine, yeah. And the plastic arches we have to remove with both sides. Next step, we have to loosen these bolts in here on the both side, actually are nuts, so the bumper and front will get a slide and will be distance between radiator and timing belt. Now we have to remove these two bolts for a bumper, so it's hard to see, and wires for fog lights, front fog lights. These nuts you can see are on the both sides, so we have to loosen it just a wee bit. Yeah, our two bolts are off, the nuts actually, and one bolt on the front for a bumper. We have to do on both sides, so the bumper will be able to remove. How you can see now, just we have to slide off the bumper and bumper will come off easily. behind the bumper is the steel profile. We have to remove these 3 bolts around, 1, 2 and third should be on the top. We have to do it somewhere in here, and we have to do it on both sides of this profile to remove it, to pull the front actually towards you. Now you have to pull the front towards you, and how you can see is bigger gap between engine and front radiator. This will get about 5-8 centimeter of gap in here, so you will be able to remove the timing belt cover. The cover are on the clips. I already took them off. You have to remove this cover to see a belt, and inside the crankshaft pulley is a rubber cap. You have to remove it. You need to use pliers to pull it out, and there will be 4 bolts. Before you remove the bolts, you have to loosen this tensioner for a fan belt and remove the fan belt, drive belt. In here is the cap, which I removed from the crankshaft pulley. You have to pull it with the pliers, like I said, to remove it. Now this is the tool socket for a crankshaft. This is 12-point socket. Now we have to turn the crank to right direction, like clockwise. So we can see is tiny mark on the pulley and must be in line with the arrow on the timing cover, plastic timing cover. Arrow is in here, and we have to turn the pulley about 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters in my position, but you can have it different. If you turn it, you will be able to put the pins for a cams, for a cam actually, and for a high pressure pump. It's like V, you can see the V, and it's hole, so you need to put the pin in there. This like U, maybe not the V, is like U, so you need to go up about 2 centimeters, and you will be able to put a pin, and in here the same, And it's looking for a hole in here and in here. So the crankshaft must be turned to put the lockers. If you guys have the locking position in different direction, like on the top, you have to do full turn with the crankshaft. Now we need to use offset spanner M19 for hold the crankshaft to remove the 4 little bolts with this spline type M10 bit. We have to put the spline in each bolt and remove the bolts around the pulley. Are 4 bolts, and we don't removing the central bolt. We just need to remove the 4 little bolts of the crankshaft pulley, and then we can remove the cover. For the cover is Torx T30 5 bolts. I removed my timing cover. Yeah, it's mounted for 5 bolts, like I said, T30, and here is an arrow which must be in line with the crankshaft pulley. I put the lockers for cam and for high pressure pump. Now we need to put the locker for a crankshaft in there. This is like slide in. Make sure that the lockers fit very nice, and it's not problem them to put them too tight, must go very easily. I did a marks with Tipex on the tufts and on the covers. Yeah, I did pump, camshaft and crankshaft. So I will be know how. Later we need to loosen the bolts, these 3 bolts around in here and this 3, so the gears will be moving left and right, but we need to do it later. So the marks can move with it, but shafts are locked. Now we need to remove the nut on the tensioner, remove the belt. We need to remove this pulleys, the top one and bottom one, and this one in here. Everything is locked, so we don't need to worry about it. Yeah? Check the lockers before. How you can see, I removed my tensioner, the pulley in here, and in the bottom. I removed my timing belt off. Now we have to use this special tool for these bolts to remove them. We need to remove the top one and bottom one. If you don't have this tool, you can use two nuts, squash them together and remove the bolts. These 2 bolts are a requirement for replace, and you can find them in timing belt kit. Make sure that the thread is clean and removing it very gently to not destroy the alloy in the head. We need to replace the water pump too. I will show you where is drain plug on the A4 Audi. So here is the drain plug in the bottom of the radiator. And you can lose the drain plug or remove this hose in here, the clamp, and drain all coolant from the system. I removed 2 bolts for a tensioner and for a pulley. Yeah, make sure that the thread is clean. Now we have to remove the pump. The pump is mounted for a 3 bolts M10 standard socket, and we have to remove the pump and replace it. To put this 2 bolts nut, you can use the nuts, squash them together and screw in to the engine block. You need to use 2 spanners to squash the nuts. The old bolts are with Loctite, so for one of these 2 bolts we need to use a Loctite too, yeah? This is for a pulley for the bottom. For tensioner is without Loctite on the bolt. I replaced my 2 bolts, and we need to clean this hole in the block. This is there should be a pump, yeah? We need to clean it with water sandpaper. There's a new pump for this O-ring. To not rip it, to not damage it, we have to use red rubber grease. Put a small amount around the seal. So the pump will be fit easily. Now I put my pump on it, I torqued it, and now I fill it up with a red antifreeze, so I can check for leaks my system, make sure that the drain plug is closed and your hose is on in the bottom of the radiator if you drain it. And slowly watch coolant level. If will be need to top up, just top up during the process. Here we have the tensioner. This is the tensioner of new type, and this is the old tensioner. How you can see is different with this hook on it, and these tensioners are correct. Yeah, this is new tensioner for a gauge set, and manufacturers say that this is alright, yeah, to use. So don't worry about. Also inclusive the kit should be instruction would say about this difference. This tiny pulley I will put last. So I put the bottom pulley, I torqued it, I put the higher pulley, tensioner must be loose and the nut can't be tight because we have to move it, yeah, like there. And like I said, this tiny pulley we will put last after the belt. This is most comfortable for me. How you can see in here, I did X on the bolt, so this means for me that the bolt is tight, yeah, and I don't need to check it like 2-3 times because I mark it that this is done, yeah. So you can do it same. So now what we need to do, we need to loosen this 3 bolts for M13 and this 3 bolts for the spline M10. So these gears both and pump and camshaft will get a loose. We need to use the special tool for lock the gear. Don't do it on the tiny lockers, timing lockers, just you need this tool. Yeah. So the gears will get a loose left and right, just 2 wheels, yeah. This and this. So the tensioner will be able to move the gears during the tensioning the belt. If you guys have this little 3 bolts from the pump or from the cam included the new kit, just replace them. Now I will put the new belt on it and I will show you next step. Here is the torque setting if you need. The new belt is on it. The bolts are loosened, this free. So the gear can move. If you guys, I forget to tell you, if you guys need to loosen the bolts, these ones, you can use the 15mm spanner like that to lock the gear. These bolts are loosened, how you can see, yeah. This must stay slack and this free also too during the tensioning belt, and don't lose them on these lockers or torque them on these lockers. Use the tool for it like I've been showing, yeah. Or you can use this central bolt for holding the cam. Is better than doing on the lockers. In the instruction below the video you can check how put the belt if you don't know. As I put the little pulley in here, and the belt must be put it to right direction, yeah. As I mark the bolt that is torqued. These ones must be loosened, these ones, and now we will adjust our tensioner. We need to use for it Allen key, 8mm, put it into the tensioner, and then we will torque the nut with 15mm spanner. This arrow in here must to be in line with this groove. So we need to adjust tensioner and torque this nut with the 15mm spanner at the same time. Remember that these 3 bolts and this 3 need to be slack to the gears getting a move during the tensioning. So the distance between the belt will be same. Here's a torque setting. Now I done adjust the belt, and how you can see the arrow is over the groove, so it's adjusted too high. So if you guys will do 2 or 4 turns, possibly this arrow will be on the right position. Now we need to torque these 3 bolts with attached torque setting, and this 3 also. So we can check the marks that are correct. This gear will be moving just a wee bit during the tensioning, so the marks can move too. Also make sure that the bolt is in the middle, yeah, like in here, not on the one side or other side, must be on the middle, so the gear can move just wee bit, not too much. Now we need to torque them with the torque setting, yeah. So we torque this both gears, and we need to remove the lockers on the top, yeah, and in the bottom, and then we have to do two full turns, but better is do 4 turns, so you will be make sure that everything is correct, and check your tensioner. There is torque setting. I did 4 turns, and now you can see my tensioner is below limit, is below the groove, so I have to adjust it a wee bit more. To do it, I have to put the timing in the right position and lock the cam and pump and crankshaft, yeah, and then adjust the tensioner. And after, do another 2 turns on the crankshaft, and remember to remove the lockers, yeah, to do the another 2 turns. Just I forget tell you, sometimes I are arrows on the belt or signs, usually are signs. If our arrows, must be on the engine direction, and if our signs, must be readable. Everything is torqued now, so I will do the few 2 turns, and how you can see now, the tensioner is in the correct position, so the timing is set up properly. Remember that everything need be marked. Mark everything what you torqued to make sure that everything is correct, and check your timing marks and put the lockers afterwards to make sure that the timings is in the right position. Have a look for each bolt that you target it properly. Make sure that everything you mark it. Check each bolt, yeah. This is very important. Now we have to put the covers back on. Bottom pulley, and timing is done actually. So good luck. Just remember about timing covers and everything put correctly. You can use, guys, few trays, magnetic trays for bolts, and set them in each side to make sure that you will putting the bolts from the bumper to other tray than from the timing, to not mix it the bolts, so you will be have easy job, yeah? Good luck, guys, again. I believe that you can manage with it. Just remember, guys, check a torque setting instruction below the video and check everything twice. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I would like just add how to bleed your coolant system. You need fill up the reservoir, switch on the engine afterwards, and wait half hour. Put your heater on the maximum to bleed the system, and after run, just check your coolant level to make sure that is correct. Thank you very much guys for watching. If you are happy with my video, please leave me like and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Bye.